Okay, hello, good evening, everybody. So we are going to
Hello,
start.
teacher.
Hello, teacher.
Mhm.
Hello, classmates.
Ingrid, Claudia, Catalina, and Jairo. Okay. I am going to ask you something. Okay, I am proving Zoom again because, last classes we had some inconvenience with the communication, but I think that it was a problem of reinstalling. So I tried to reinstall, and I think that everything is open. Is all right now. So if there is any problem, if you cannot see what I am showing, or if you see that any person is trying to speak or try to uh, like intervene in the conversation and I don't answer, is because I cannot see them. Okay, that was the problem that I had during these sessions. Yeah, people entered to my class when I already started, and I couldn't see them. Okay, but I think that everything is. I'm going to do some things here. Okay, so yes, I couldn't do this. Unmute people. I couldn't do this in the previous classes. Okay, yeah, I can now. Hello, Maria Stephanie. So we are going to start our class um, after having checked what theoretical linguistics is and after having checked what each one of the disciplines or fields, more than disciplines, the fields of theoretical linguistics are about and what is like the object of each one of them. We are going to start today with some aspects related to phonetics and phonology, more than phonetics, and syntax. Okay, so we are going to try to make this conversation like a conversation, hopefully. So let me start. I'm going to share my screen with sound. Right. Okay, before starting the class, I'm going to tell you that I have already opened unit number 3, just in case that you want to start working on it. And that's it. So we are going to start with 2 different presentations today. This is the first one. I suppose that you have worked on this. Let me see you. I cannot see you anymore. Can you see the presentation?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, right. So this presentation is about phonetics, the vowels. We are going to focus on the vowels because those are the first part of the suprasegmental features. Remember that in phonetics we have segmental and suprasegmental features. So the vowels and consonants belong to the segmental features. Yeah. So in this case, what we are going to do is to analyze the vowels from, I'm going to close my video, just you to focus on this, from 4 different dimensions or 4 different characteristics of the vowel. Those are the characteristics that are given like from several studies and experiments, observation, and those kind of things that give us these 4 aspects. The first one is the position of the tongue. The second one is the position of the lips, or the shape of the lips. The third one is the tenseness, and the last one is the length of the sound. So if we define a vowel, we have to define the vowel with the 4 characteristics. In English, let me continue. In English, we have this graph. This graph is what we call the vowel quadrilateral, and it is not any other thing than the representation of the mouth. So if we imagine that there is a mouth here, we have the mouth here, what we can see here is going to be, it is going to be the movement of the tongue in order to produce these vowel sounds here. So in first place, we have these characteristics in here that are front, central, and back. You know that in Spanish we only have five consonants, five vowels, sorry, and we don't have a quadrilateral, but we have a triangle. So this is kind of different. And the difference here also with Spanish is that we don't have central vowel sounds, right? Front and back, we have front and back, but not central vowel sounds. In this characteristic as well, that is a double characteristic, we have the highness. So we have high vowel sounds, mid vowel sounds, and low vowel sounds that are also called closed vowel sounds, mid and open. Okay? So if we want to define the characteristic of one of these vowels, we only use like the Cartesian graph, Cartesian, yes, Cartesian points here, high front. So these two belong to high front. These three belong to mid-central. And it is something that we have to check. We are going to check little by little. So in total, we have, sorry? Okay. In total, we have these vowel sounds. So let's continue. As I told you, the second characteristic is the lip position. The lip position is defined by the spreadness of the lips when you are almost smiling, or the roundness, right? So in spread, we have vowels like this one, that is E, and when you do an E, or when you do this one is A, you are half spread. Spread. The lips, the position of the lips are spread. Well, if you have U, or if you have O, the position of the lips are rounded. Okay, is rounded. The third characteristic, okay, if I go fast and you don't understand something, please let me know. This is not any other thing than description of these aspects. The other characteristic of the vowel, the third one, is the tenseness. It has to do with the musculature. So the muscles that you use to produce each one of the vowels, if they are tense, like in the case of E, because you make like there is a tension producing these ones, or in the cases O, they are going to be tense. But lags are those that are less tense. Like this one that it is known for us, it is A. So there is not any tenseness in the musculature, right? So if you want to try, you can prove that when you pronounce E, there is no tenseness. But if you pronounce E, there is a little tension in the muscles. Fourth characteristic. This fourth characteristic is the length of the sound. So here we have 12 different vowel sounds. And in English, we have short vowel sounds and long vowel sounds. And we have these ones as the short vowel sounds, and these are the long vowel sounds. I have to make a clarification here that these symbols in here are what we call phonemes. They are not letters. So what it is representing, or what this phoneme is representing, is a sound of a vowel, right? So this is a short I, so it sounds like pet. This is a short A, it sounds like pet. A short A, pot. This is called wedge, but we are going to see it in advance, is pot. This is an A, and it has a double signification, a double representation here, because we can find both representation. The same happens with A. Okay, so in this case, this is pot. This is a short U that it is put, and a short schwa that it is the name of this vowel sound that is about. In this case, we have a long E, like in key, a long A. Something important about this A is that it is only a British sound. In America, we don't have this sound. In North America, in American English. So we have ka, o, but it is long, ko, u, ku, and ker, that they are the long and short sounds. Yeah. Okay. Hello, Jorge, Jorge Mario, and John Haido. Hello, Henry. How many people do we have today? 8 people. Yes, very good. Alberto, you look like a teacher. Very good. Okay, thank you very much for that. Yeah. So, any questions so far about the 4 characteristics? Any question?
Yes, teacher.
Which one?
In the case of the quadrilateral,
Yeah,
the position of tongue,
of the
I
tongue.
would like I
Of
would
the tongue.
like to to hear one example, please.
Ah, yeah. Don't worry. No, I am just explaining the the 4 characteristics. But don't worry. We are going to start analyzing vowel per vowel very quickly, and we are going to see some examples. Okay. So pay attention to the first vowel sound, and pay attention to here. Remember that this vowel sound. Sorry, I moved this. This vowel sound has 4 characteristics. The first one is the position of the tongue. It means that it is front and high. This is the position of this vowel sound. It means that the tip of the tongue, la punta de la lengua, the tip of the tongue is going to go to the upper and front part of the mouth. The upper and front. Yeah, that's the position. So when you pronounce E, you can pay attention that your tongue is going to go up and to the front, almost touching the teeth, but it is almost E, very close to the teeth. Yeah, can you see that? See this? Another thing that it is important in here is the position of the lips. So it is spread. It is like when you are smiling, right? The other one is that the tenseness happens. So it is natural. This position of the lips and the tenseness is natural. And the most important thing here is that this is a long vowel sound. So when you pronounce it, you do it a little longer. So E, or E, E, right? Let's listen to some examples with this vowel. This vowel is very simple and easy, but let's listen to some examples. What you are going to do is to listen and try to write the words that you have or that you listen to, okay?
9,
Can you listen?
Yes, perfect.
Okay,
Yes,
very good.
Yes, teacher. 9.
E, bead, key,
Eat.
cheese,
Key.
scene,
I'm going to mute all your just to be sure. Okay? Sorry. Let's start again. Ah, damn it. Sorry again.
9, E, bead, key, cheese, scene, police, people, key,
Again, let's listen to this again.
9. E, bead, key, cheese, scene, police, people, key,
Okay, could you identify the words with this example? What is the first one?
nine,
That's not the first word, okay?
E, bead,
Ouch. Again. I did it again. I have 4 shots. Beat. Very good. Very good.
E, bead, key, cheese, scene, police, people, key,
Very good. So those are like the ones. What did you listen? Beat is the first one. What else did you listen to? Scene, key, cheese, scene, please, people, key. Very good. Okay. Yes. So please. So if you pronounce all those words that you have there, you are going to feel that the E is long. This is a very simple vowel sound because it is very natural for us to pronounce the E. But this vowel sound, the second vowel sound, has a characteristic and it doesn't happen in Spanish. Okay? And pay attention to this. The position of the tongue is the same, front and high. But if you pay attention with the previous one, the first one is in here, and the second one is a little lower, a little bit, okay? The other characteristics are the same. Okay, this one, spread lips. But the muscles are not going to be tense, they are going to be laxed. And this vowel sound is short, but this is not a complete E. This is something that we have to understand. This is a vowel that we don't have in Spanish. So it is not a complete E. It's like a middle E, right? So let's listen to the pronunciation. Try to copy the words that you listen. Let me do something. La, 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 la.
10. I, hit, sausage, biggest, rhythm, mountain, busy, women, sieve,
Let's listen to this again.
10. I, hit, sausage, biggest, rhythm, mountain, busy, women, sieve.
The last one, Alexander, I think that it is not that one. Alexander wrote a list, but I think that the last one is not that. Let's listen to this. 10 is not included, John. Okay? 10 is not included. 10 is the number of the recording.
10. I, hit, sausage, biggest, rhythm, mountain, busy, women, sieve.
Okay, I couldn't recognize the last one. I have to confess. I have done, yes, it's like Seth, but I don't know if it does if it exists. Let me do something here. I'm going to open a Word file, open Word file, and I'm going to copy the words. So the first word that that we listen to, let me see this one. I'm going to do this following thing here. The first word that we listened to was head, right? What is the second word that we listen? We listen sausage. The third word
Biggest.
was biggest. Ouch. Biggest. The fourth word, rhythm.
Rhythm.
Rhythm. The next one.
Mountain.
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 Mountain. The fifth one, busy.
Busy.
And the last one, women. Now,
Women.
remember, we are analyzing this vowel sound. Do you remember how that sounds? Listen. Después del 10, ¿ok? No antes del 10. El 10 es solo el número del recording.
10. I,
Yes? Again, listen.
I, I,
How does it sound?
E.
No.
A short E.
Es similar to a I. Es muy similar. I, pero baja la lengua un poquitín. Y la hacen muy cortica. Y no tan abajo porque se les vuelve E. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, let me listen. Let me see here. Whenever the two dots are on the top of the letter, that means that it is a long sound. Yes, it is a long sound. But I have to tell you something as well, Alexander. It is that this phoneme on itself, it means that it is long. Okay? So you're not going to find this E as a short one, always, with or without the colon. Okay? The name of the 2 points here is colon. Okay, so pay attention to this. Those are the words that we have. I'm going to make them bigger. And it is very understandable that the first word is head, right? It's very understandable that. Let me see with this. So the transcription, more or less, will be like this. Head. Yeah? But I have a question. Where is the short I in this word?
At the end of sausage.
So which letter is replacing the phoneme I?
Letter E.
No, because E doesn't sound. Very good, Jairo Alberto. This one. This is the one that is going to replace. So what is the pronunciation of this? Sausage. Sausage. Right? It's like diagraph here. Let me see if I find. I have to look for diagraph. Los fonemas están aquí, but it's very complicated to use them sometimes. Okay. I have a diagraph here, but it is not the one that I want because it is different, but okay. Sausage. It is more or less like this, okay? We are going to, we can check this, we can prove it if we have, oh my goodness, if we have or we look for a dictionary. I use the dictionary.com or dictionary Cambridge, could be. So in the Cambridge dictionary, we use the English. And we can verify that A is the other A. Yes. We can verify the pronunciation with this. You see? In here. So we can listen to the American one if you prefer, but the vowel sound is in here. Can you see? In here. So let's listen.
Sausage.
Sausage. Oh my gosh. Again. Hello everybody. Can you listen to me? Hello.
Yes, teacher. Yes,
Okay.
teacher.
Ok, cuando preguntas por
Yes,
qué
teacher.
me sale a veces un mensaje que dice señal inestable, so that's why. I don't know when I can stop. So if you pay attention here, there is an I. Usually, this is not a rule, but usually when this vowel A, the letter, not the phoneme, is very near to the G, the vowel is going to change into A, into this one, E. Okay? So it is going to be like sausage. It happens in many words. Like for example, this one. It is not image. It is image. You see? So it is a short I. So let's listen.
Image.
Image. Yeah? So this vowel sound is very common, but the problem is that sometimes we don't recognize it. Like for example in this word. Can you see how this is pronounced? What is the pronunciation of this word? You see the chat? Ah, yes, Alexander, but this is for another thing. You don't say orange, you say orange, right? So here the short I,
orange, orange,
orange. The thing is that sometimes our minds that are set in Spanish try to take those sounds to a similar sound in Spanish. So for that reason, we usually, or people here in Colombia, usually tend to pronounce this vowel sound in this word, especially, or in other words, like an A. Okay, like an A. So this is something that we have to take into account. Let's do an exercise. Okay, no, let's continue with this because I forgot. With this. In this word, where is the short I?
The second one.
The second one, very good. Any other option? In the first one. Biggest. No. First syllable. In the first one too. Biggest. So you pronounce it twice here. Biggest. In this one, of course, it is in here. And in here, this word.
In the AI.
So we replace AI.
Yes.
Yes, very good. We replace AI. So we can check it. Check this one here. Oh my God. So pay attention to this pronunciation. Mountain, mountain, mountain. Yeah, in British.
mountain,
Mountain. Yep. So it is very important to notice that sometimes when we have a diphthong in the written, it is not necessarily a diphthong in the pronunciation. And even when we have some letters like A or A, they can change into short I. So there is not a strict relationship between the grapheme and the phoneme. The grapheme could be one and the phoneme could be another one. Like in this one, busy. Where is the short I?
In the U.
In the U? Only in the U? And in the Y.
Why?
Busy. And in this one, where is the short I?
In the O and
O. O.
in
In
both
the-
of them.
The O, women.
O.
Only in the
Women.
O.
We. Right?
Women.
So let's check this here. Let me see if we found it. I think that we are going to find it. In the both. Women. Yes, you were right. In both. Women. Yeah? So this is very important here. So this is short I. The short I that we have here. Another thing that it is very important and necessary to understand is that as the short I and the I are very close, we can get confused with other words. Like for example, this one. The pronunciation of this one is hit and this one is heat. Right? So this is what we call minimal pairs. Minimal pairs means that there is only one word that it is also, don't pay attention to me, it is not a word, it is only one letter, one phoneme that it is different and that makes things different when we are pronouncing. Yeah, so we can have minimal pairs with other words. For example, in this case we can pronounce this one, and this word is pronounced with a short E, so it's it. But then sometimes in Spanish, sometimes here in Colombia, sometimes we say this eat, but eat is this one, the long E. So we have to pay attention that those are different vowel sounds, right? So we have these minimal pairs, and the point is that we have to pay attention not to confuse them, okay? To get used to it. So we are going to do a very short exercise here. Now, I'm going to show you these sentences, and in each one of the sentences we have a minimal pair. One with the long E and one with the short E. So what we have to do, or what you have to do, is try to identify from the listening which one of those two is the person pronouncing. If the long one or the short one. Yeah? Let's listen. The first one is the example.
Check yourself 2. Page 13. Example.
You need a new wheel.
1.
So what is the one that she mentioned, that she pronounced?
The
Wheel.
long. The long wheel.
Long
The
cut.
long
The
one.
long. Yes.
The long one, correct. So let's
The long.
continue with the next one, okay? So try to recognize the other 10. Let's listen.
1.
They cleaned the ship.
2.
Ship.
Will he leave?
The long.
3.
Wait.
No.
The boy was bitten.
Sorry. We are going to repeat. Just listen, and then we share the what we listen. Okay?
You need a new wheel.
1,
They cleaned the ship.
2,
Will he leave?
3,
The boy was bitten.
4,
His clothes are neat.
5,
She has plump cheeks.
6,
I like low heels.
7,
The children will slip.
8,
I heard every beat.
9,
They stored the beans.
10.
Everyone talks about the heat.
Right? Difficult? So let's check. In the first one, which one did you listen to? Long or short?
Sure.
Sure.
Let's see.
Ship.
Yes, very good. Chip. The other
Chip.
one is pronounced sheep, right? The third one. Short,
Leave.
short,
Long.
or long?
Long. Leave.
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 Long.
Yes, and pay attention that is, you can try at home to say leave and live.
Leave. Leave. Oh.
Live. And here, she, no, this one is chip, sheep.
Sheep.
Will. Okay? Okay. The next one. The boy was
The short.
Beaten. Short. Beaten.
yes.
Sure.
Very good. Very good. Beaten. So it is the beaten. Beaten. Okay. The next one. His clothes are knit. Knit. Sorry. Or knit. What do you listen to?
The long.
Do you
Teacher,
understand?
could you repeat
you
this
repeat?
sentence?
Yes,
This
it was difficult.
Let me listen. Let me see.
Will he leave?
3,
The boy was bitten.
4,
His clothes are neat.
Neat. Sure.
Short. I think it's short.
Short. Neat. Yes.
Yes. It is a short one. Okay. Oh, you write a lot. Catalina wrote a lot. Alexander. Okay, very good. So here, she has plump. Cheeks or chicks?
Chic.
The long.
The long one.
Long.
Yes.
Long.
Do you understand plump?
No, teacher. I know.
Like regordetas? Gorditas?
Ah, okay. Okay.
Gorditas rellenitas?
Ballenas.
Okay.
Yes. And cheeks? Cachetes? And checks?
Yeah.
What is checks?
Chicks.
Checks?
Chicas.
Yes. Could be. But not.
Pollo. Pollito.
Huh?
Like, it's not like pollito or pollos.
Yes, a
O
little chick.
gallinita, yes.
Sí, pollito.
Por eso la relación entre checks, chicas, gallinitas, you know?
Yes.
That
Yes.
is the relationship.
Some persons say like a puppy law.
No fun. Okay. Okay, here. I like low.
Heels. Heels.
This one. The long one?
Yes. Yeah, the long one.
Yes, I forgot. It's the cheeks and heels. Yes? Tacones,
Yes.
tacones bajitos. Right, very good. The next one, the children.
Sleep. Long.
Sleep. La corta.
The short one.
¿Cómo se
Short
pronuncia
one.
la corta?
Sleep.
Sleep. Sleep.
Sleep.
Sleep.
Sleep.
Sleep.
No, sleep.
Sleep. Sleep es este. Sleep. es este.
Sleep.
Okay. Presten atención a something. Pay attention to something here. Esto es una S. Entonces pronunciamos S. No pronunciamos una E adelante. Okay? So we say sleep.
Sleep.
Very good. And
Okay.
slept.
Sleep.
Sleep.
Okay, very good. So children well slept. I don't know.
Mhm.
No.
Slept.
Yeah. Sleep.
The
Next
short
one.
one.
Yeah, the short one. Next, I heard every.
Beat.
Beat.
Long.
The long one. Very good.
Beat.
Yeah.
The next one. This two the.
Bean.
Beans.
Beans.
Long.
Long.
The
Long
long
beans.
one.
Long
Very
one.
good.
Long one.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about the
Hit.
Heat. Long.
The long
Here.
one.
Long.
Here.
long one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you can see, very good. This is a very good exercise. So you can
Yes,
try these kind of exercises here. I'm going to recommend you something here. Wait a moment. La barrita, esto me hace. I'm going to recommend you something here that could be useful for you just to check, right? So it is BBC. And we write BBC Phonics. Phonics and pictures? No, just phonics. And we enter to phonetics. Phonetics. Sorry. BBC Phonetics. And as you can see here in videos, they have some videos based on the pronunciation, right? This is British. I have to tell you, this is very British, okay? But they can help you with this pronunciation. So let's see the one about, let's see if I can watch the one about the long and short I. For consonants, this one. This is the short I.
This is a short vowel sound. It's pronounced I. Now you try. Listen and repeat after me. I. I. Now here are some words which have this sound. Kit, bid, him, minute. Now you try. Listen carefully and repeat after me. Kit, bid, him, minute. Good. For speakers of some languages, it may be difficult to tell the difference between this vowel, the short vowel I, and another sound, the long vowel E. Listen carefully to hear the difference between the two. In each pair of examples, I'll say the short sound I first. Hit, heat, lip, leap, sick, seek, will, wheel. Now you try. Listen carefully and repeat after me. Hit, heat, lip, leap, sick, seek, will, wheel. Good.
Okay, good. She always says good, although it is not good. Okay, so any questions so far about these vowel sounds?
No, teacher.
Everything is clear?
Very interesting, teacher.
Okay, so you can enter to that web page, or let me see, because Ingrid was recommending another one. Let's see what is the one that she's recommending.
Many things.
Which one?
No, it's many things. Things.
But
Sorry, I didn't.
yes,
Many things.
you wrote this. Many things here. And
Yeah.
This one, yeah?
Yeah. Slash PP, double P.
Slash double P?
Yeah, that is the minimal pairs exercise section.
Okay. Yes, I know this web page too. So in case that you want to check the minimal pairs, it is very useful because they are going to show you a lot of examples. Here, for example, is this one, lesson number 23. In which we have some minimal pairs.
Start. That's it. Kids like it when I use it. I just use it in the board. I project it, and they like to listen and practice and choose the correct answer. So.
Yeah, especially because as the video was saying, the woman in the video, she was saying that sometimes people from other languages tend to confuse the sounds. So it is very, very necessary to start make them aware of the sounds. Yeah. So you can use this in your classes or with you when you want to practice, just to make them aware of a different thing. Yeah. Because if you paid attention to these examples or to these exercises, the sentence has completely sense with whatever of the two words. So the meaning is going to change just because of a pronunciation. 11 chats. Oh, okay, me too. Wow. Let me see. What are you sharing, Alexander? I cannot see. I have the American accent training book with audio and everything in case anyone is interested in it. Okay, share it. I would like to have it as well. Interesting. Thank you, Alexander. Thank you. John. Okay. Todos empezaron a escribir. Everybody started writing the email. Okay, very good. So pay attention to this. It is important to continue analyzing the sounds, to continue seeing each one of the examples. And from this slide on, I took from a book these examples, right? So the idea is that you start during your free time. I know that you don't have much free time, but trying to start analyzing the vowel sounds, because here in class we don't have much time. Yeah. So the whole presentation it's going to be, or it is in unit number 2. Let me see if it is here. Where is the set slides? Material slides. No, it is not here. But I'm going to upload it right now. Okay? I'm going to upload it here in unit number 2, the presentation of the vowels. Okay. And we can use also the book that he is going to share. Alexander is going to share, right? Okay, do you have any question about these things so far? Okay.
No, everything's perfect.
Perfect. So another recommendation, try to practice, try to see the examples, pay attention to each one of them. There are some things that are going to be new for you. For example, this vowel sound that is very short. When they are short, they are similar to the long ones, but they are not the same, right? Or the long one here. Yep. So we are going to find some things like this, pronunciation of news, right? So this presentation is complete with the vowel sounds, some examples in audio, some, and the spelling of many of the vowels. So we have to continue and move on because you know that we have three different aspects to cover: phonetics, syntax, and morphology. So today we are going to cover another thing that has to do with linguistics, the theoretical linguistics, and in this case is syntax. In syntax, okay, in syntax we have something very important that are the word categories, because the word is like the central or the nucleus of what we are going to study. But it is not the word just because of the word, but the word because of the function or the syntactical function that they have within the sentence, right? Or within the phrase. Yeah. Let me see. Any accent books you want? Okay. Let me do something. Remember, I'm going to close your hide. I'm going to close your microphone, your hide, because I think that you are very close to the street, and you live in Cali, I think. So there are too many motorcycles. Here, we have to determine each one of the words based on the part of a speech, on the function in the sentence. The function in the sentence is very key. Function in the sentence. So the parts of a speech, according to that, is or are the nouns, the adjectives, the prepositions, the conjunctions, the determiners, verbs, adverbs, and interjection. So we have to determine each one, and we have to learn how to classify each one of the words within the sentence. This is the first thing. So I'm not going to read everything. I'm just going to explain. This is a little wordy, I think, but okay. We have here some examples. You know that a noun in a sentence can denote people, animal, things, or places. So those are what we call like concrete nouns. Concrete nouns, sorry. Yes? So it is something that we can observe, like people, animals, things, or places, and we can define it as nouns. But there are other words, according to the sentence, that are going to have the function or the syntactical function as nouns. It says we have to consider the shape of a word, the shape a word can take, where they occur in a sentence, and the way they behave and function. So there are four things that we have to take into account. The shape of the word, it has to do with morphology. Where is the word in the sentence? How it behaves in the sentence, and what is the function, right? So in the first case, we can use morphology, the shape, to understand which words are nouns. So for example, hood, shape, shone, nest, these suffixes makes us understand that the word is going to be a noun, ends, and other forms. So we have, for example, with ends, alliance, defiance, reliance, with hood, bachelorhood, brotherhood, fatherhood, with Xian or Shan, abolition, education, demarcation, witness, darkness, kindness, wildness, with ship, lectureship, tutorship, studentship. So, American accent book set. Okay, right. So this is very important. And also where it is located. So generally the verb or the noun comes before the verb, generally, right? But not necessarily. So we are going to see that in a moment. Let's continue here. So that in English we have some words that are called also determiners. So the determiner is a word that is going to be before a noun. A noun, not a proper noun, but some nouns have determiners before. So examples: the, a, this, these, that, those, which, whose. Those kind of words are determiners. And we can see them as determiners because after them, they are going to have, there is going to be a noun, right? Determiners. So we have nouns and determiners. Adjectives, it is very easy because it is the same in Spanish. An adjective is a word that is going to describe, or it is going to give a characteristic, or is going to qualify, or give us information about the noun. Generally, in English, generally, the adjectives comes before the noun. So we can identify, if we identify the noun, we can identify adjectives if there are adjectives, right? So we know like the colors are adjectives, the sizes, big, small, those are adjectives. So here we have nouns to classes. So we have the common nouns, table, book, pencil, countable and uncountable, butter, water, floor, soup. So we have the proper nouns like my name, Heido, Rachel, Germany, Colombia. So the proper nouns, the numerals, cardinal, ordinals, and the pronouns. The pronouns constitute themselves into a noun because what they are doing is replacing the noun. That's why they are called pronouns. So we have the personal pronouns, the possessive pronouns, and the reflexive pronouns. Right? Nouns, determiners, and adjectives. The pronouns could be demonstratives, this, these, that, those. Remember, these could be also determiners, but they are determiners if there is a noun after them. If there is not a noun, they are going to be pronouns, demonstrative pronouns, not determiners. So this word is an example that one word can have two different categories, but according to the place where it is in the sentence and according to the relationship with the other words. So we have these as pronouns. Reciprocal pronouns, each other, one another. Relative pronouns, that, who, which, whose. Again, these whose or these which are pronouns, but also determiners depending on the function, depending on the relation with the other words. Interrogative pronouns, what, why, where, whatever, and indefinite pronouns. Anybody, anyone, anything, no one, nothing, somebody, someone, something, etc. So those are the pronouns that are here. Pronoun replace a noun. Adjectives. So we have some adjectives that are derived from words, like nouns. So we have, for example, beautiful, that there is a derivation with the affix full. Careless, that there is a derivation of care. And constructive, that is the derivation of construct. Some adjectives have that form. However, there are other adjectives that it is only one word. Adjectives can be preceded by a word such as extremely, very, less. But in this case, extremely, very, and less, they are adverbs. Okay, but we are going to see adverbs later on. Okay? Nationalities or materials are also constituted into adjectives. Wooden, table, Colombian, person. Colombian is an adjective. Adjectives can also take comparative or superlative form, and you know the comparative superlative form, and you know that the short adjectives are formed with er for the comparative, or est, or yes, est for the superlative, and the long one has more or most for the superlative, but they are still adjectives. In the case of more, it is going to become not an adjective, but an adverb. Okay? Even. And morphologically speaking, we can say that this er is an adverbial particle because it's modifying the adjective. And if something modifies the adjective, is an adverb. Okay? So here, taking into account the position of the word, we can determine if it is an adjective or not. Yeah? Let's continue. Okay, let me stop here. So we have here so far 3 categories. So let me eliminate this thing. Something that we have to take into account is that there are 3 categories: the nouns, the determiner, the noun, and the adjective. They are going to constitute sometimes like a phrase, can constitute a phrase. Yeah. So here we have words, that it is something important, but then we have another aspect in syntax that are called phrases. In the case of phrases, when the noun is the nucleus, it is going to be called noun phrase. It is going to be called a noun phrase. So I'm going to give you an example of noun phrase. This is a noun phrase. This is a noun phrase as well. Or even my name could be a noun phrase. So the noun phrase can be constituted by a determiner and a noun, determiner and a noun. A noun could be constituted also by a pronoun, or could be constituted by a determiner, an adjective, and a noun, or could be constituted no, the very long way. No, it sounds strange.
The very old house.
Okay, sounds the very old house. Okay, so these are examples of what noun phrases are. So a noun phrase can be constituted by a word, a noun, a proper noun, or by these kind of words. Okay, so let's organize them like in here, and we can have a better idea of what we can do using adjectives and using adverbs and adjectives at the same time, right? So this is what we call a noun phrase. In the case of the other categories, we have the verbs, and you know that we have different kind of verbs. I mean, we have verbs in all the tenses, in present, in past, in past perfect, in pre. So when we have the verbs in present or in past, in affirmative way, they are easy to identify, and it is easy to explain or to say that this is a verb, because it is only one word verb, yeah? But when it is something like a present continuous, we are going to need auxiliary verbs. And this is what we are going to call them, auxiliary verbs. So we are going to have also the modal auxiliaries, like will, sorry, well, would, can, could, may, might, must, shall, should, ought to. Those are auxiliaries. And with the auxiliary verb, there is a verb that is the main verb. Aspectual auxiliary verbs that are be and have, so are always late, or has broken 2 wines of glasses. Aspectual because it gives an aspect. The passive auxiliary verb, that is the verb to be in any of the tenses, and the dummy auxiliary verbs, that it is do or did. Do or did. Because why dummy? Because they are not modals. It means a modal verb, what does is to change the this is not the function, I forgot the word. The aspect of the verb, right? So when we add will, if we wanted to translate it into Spanish, we know that it doesn't mean anything, but it gives to the verb the sense or the aspect of future, right? And the same happens with all the auxiliary verbs, the modal verbs. But the dummy verbs they don't do that function. They only are like something that we need in order to make a question or to make a negative statement. But they are dummy because they don't just have that function. Any other thing. They don't change the aspect of the verb. They don't change the aspect. Right? So in the case of the verbs, we can say that then, as we have noun phrases here, I think that we have to do something, explain something as well in here. No preposition, but it is adverbs. We have adverbs here. Adverbs are words that can come from some adjectives, and we formed these adverbs with the suffix "ly." Merely, let me see, extremely. Okay, but there are other adverbs that are just words like very, work. An adverb and the function of the adverb is modified 3 different categories of words. First, the verb or parts of a speech. Adverbs modify verbs, adverbs modify adjectives, and adverb modify other adjectives. Yeah? The verb is, for example, in this one. Our colleague from Paris merely marks. So this mark has an aspect that it is merely. It was done happily. Okay? The second one, when we modify adjectives, the teachers are extremely unimpressed. So this extremely is modifying not the verb, but the adjective. And the case of adverb modifying adverb, very hard. If you pay attention, our new professor works. This is the action, and the action is being modified by hard. In this case, hard is an adverb because it's modifying a verb. It responds to the question, how did or how does the professor do it? So hard.
Or how much?
No, how much, because it's how much? No, it's how.
Well, how much the professor works, no?
It could be, the answer could be too much. But okay, it could be whatever. The question is how. How does it work? Sorry. How does he works? Sorry. How does he work? Okay? But the adverb is modifying this adverb as well. So we have the three examples. Adverb with the verb, adverb with an adjective, and adverb with an adverb. Right? So pay attention to the following thing then. If we have here noun phrases, then we are going to have also the verb phrases. And the verbal phrases are could be constituted sometimes by verbs, but the only verbs that can come without any other thing is not the transitive, the other ones, untransitive verbs. Okay, like run can go with an adverb, so we can say okay, right, well, or can go with a noun phrase, right? But when it goes with a noun phrase, we are going to need something else, that it is the conjunction. And a conjunction, okay, it is more complicated. No, let's do it this way only. Yeah, the verbal phrase only goes like this one. Yeah, the verbal phrase so far, because we have other kind of phrases. So the other kind of phrases that is could be constituted, it is going to start with a preposition. The preposition are those words that you know that makes a relationship, or let us understand a relationship between two things or between some entities. So when a preposition, we have a preposition, for example, we have about, or we have on, in, out, up, those kind of prepositions. Usually the preposition, most of the time, goes with noun phrases. So a preposition is constituted by a preposition, a prepositional phrase. It is constituted by a preposition and a noun phrase. And we have an example with the dog. The preposition is with, and the noun phrase, you know, the dog. The preposition is on her bicycle, through the glass. The noun phrase, in this case, is a prepositional object or a prepositional complement. So in the case of the phrasal verbs, in the first phrasal verbs, the verbal phrases, we can have a verb and a prepositional phrase. Okay, a prepositional phrase. So the prepositional phrase could be in the morning, or the prepositional phrase could be after lunch, or another prepositional phrase could be around the bushes. Yeah, So we have here a preposition and a noun phrase. Or could be also during night. Yeah, that in here we have also a noun phrase. So if we have those phrases, what we can do is to start connecting those phrases. But the most important thing here is that we understand that each one of the phrases have a nucleus. In this case, it's noun, verbs, prepositions. Those are the kind of nucleus that we are going to see so far. Okay? Any questions so far? I know that I speak too much.
No, teacher, everything's perfect.
Sure? Okay. Let me see. There are 3 chats here. Stative. It describes how the action is done. Oh my God, I cannot see the chat sometime, okay? So what do you mean with that, Alexander? I didn't read the chat when you were written. You were talking about the verbs, right? Okay. Okay, it was the function of the adverb. Okay. It describes how the action is done. Yes, when it goes with a verb. And it was just mentioning one more kind of verbs, the stated verbs, the state verbs, that are other kind of verbs. Yes. But we are not interested in that kind of definition because a verb is a verb anyway. Yeah. And a state verb could be like, and it is a verb. It has an action in this case. So in this case of the syntax, it doesn't have any relevance, much relevance. Yeah, so pay attention to the following thing. I was just mentioning what. Yeah, okay, don't worry about it. Okay, let's see. Try to send, please, guys, one sentence. Because you know, these are phrases. And this is something that we need to be clear about. These are phrases. But a sentence is like a compendium of phrases to have or to give a sense. Could you please write one sentence? Any of you, please, on the chat if you want, write one sentence. Any sentence. Behind you is a phrase. Jorge Mario. Okay, I have here some of the sentences. I'm going to copy these sentences in here. Now, let's see. These sentences are good. So I'm going to start with the easiest one. And this is something that we have to start doing because part of the project at the end of the semester, of this term, is going to be this, the analysis. So we have blue for the noun phrases, green for the prepositional phrases, and we have red for the the verbal phrases. What happened with my verbal phrases? We have red with the verbal phrases. So let's start with this one. The dog is the noun phrase. It's the bone is the verbal phrase. So we can say that this sentence, pay attention to this, is composed by a noun phrase and a verbal phrase. This is the component. But now let's see. What is here in the noun phrase? In the noun phrase, then we have, and we open here another one, we have a determiner and a noun. And we close here. You see? And here, in the verbal phrase, what do we have? We have a verb. Sorry. I made a mistake. No, yes. A determiner and a noun. Then we have a verb, and what else? What else do we have?
An article.
An article, and what else? And a noun, not an object. It is not an object, it's a noun, because this is syntax, and in syntax, every object is a noun. But, yes, article and noun. And when you have the article and noun, how do you call it?
The noun phrase.
Very good. So we have a noun phrase now. Yes? And this noun phrase is composed by a determiner and a noun. Yes? So this is more or less the structure. What we have done here is the structure of the sentence. Yes? That's why I said that we were going to start with the easy one. Now, let's go with this one. So as we did in the previous one, we are going to start with the S, that means sentence. So this sentence is composed by what? A noun phrase. And this noun phrase contains what? What does it contain?
A verb.
Noun phrase. What is the noun phrase in this sentence? A what?
Pronoun.
Pronoun. Very good. So it is going to be a pronoun. Okay? And that's it. This is our sentence. Sorry, our sense, our phrase. Then we have the verbal phrase. The verbal phrase is this one. Have learned a lot during this lesson. So we have a verbal phrase. What is the verbal phrase composed by? What is the first thing that we have there?
It's a verb, the main verb.
What is the main verb?
It's have.
Are you sure that it is have the main verb?
No, that's the auxiliary verb. That's the auxiliary verb because that's present perfect.
Learn is the main verb.
Very good. The auxiliary verb. And
Yes.
then we have
the
verb. Let me see. We are going to use the plus. Okay? Utilicemos el plus because we can get confused. Yes? This is very, very important. Now, what else do we have?
Oh, it's an article. Oh, a lot.
Yes, but a lot. What is a lot?
Quantifier. Quantifier.
Quantifier. If it is a quantifier, what is that?
It's that. It's that word that we use.
Yes, I know that it is how, but if it is a quantifier, what kind of words? Because remember that we have kind of words here, or parts of the speech.
Okay.
We don't have any other.
An adverb.
An adverb? What is it modifying? What is the function that it is in here?
Can you say it again, please? What is the function? What is it?
Yes, what is the function? A lot. What is the function? Remember.
It's like a connect. No, it's not a connector.
It is not a connector.
A lot. No, it's not.
Let me see what people say. An adverb? Are you sure that it is an adverb? If it is an adverb, remember, adjectives and adverbs have to modify something.
Demasiado.
They have to modify something.
It's an adjective.
An adjective? Una es la función gramatical y la otra es la función sintáctica. La función sintáctica se define por la posición y la relación con los otros. La posición y la relación. No necesariamente la función gramatical.
Hola, qué pena con...
So, what is a lot in here? ¿A qué pregunta me está respondiendo a lot? ¿A qué pregunta? ¿Qué pregunta pudiéramos hacer para... How?
How much?
How much?
How much?
Ok, ¿qué otra pregunta pudiéramos ver? Si es un intensifier, but intensifier is not a category, it is not a part of a speech.
How long?
How long? No, how long es por cuánto tiempo, no. Yo diría, si les pregunto, de acuerdo a esta oración, what did you learn? What did you learn?
How many?
How many? No.
No,
What
how
did you
much?
learn? A lot.
A lot.
So, because of the function, not because of the grammar. Okay, pay attention to this. It is a quantifier, yes. It is an adverb in sometimes, but the problem is that there is not anything that it is modifying. It is not anything. So in this case, what it is implicit is that this a lot means things or something. Yes? Something. Está implícito en él, pero por la función. ¿Ok? Si yo les pusiera aquí, we have learned a lot of stuffs, la cosa cambia. Porque la relación ya es de este con este. Right? Pero es que estas cosas no están acá. Y quedó solamente este. Entonces lo que se vuelve él, aquí en esta oración, es un noun phrase. Es el lot, se vuelve el noun. Porque casi que está reemplazando a algo que no estoy mencionando. Do you understand? It's the syntactical function. Okay? Because you are completely right. This is an intensifier, this is an adverb, this is an... But it needs to be in relation to another thing. If it is not in relation to the thing in the sentence, it constitutes itself a noun or a pronoun. Let's see, could see that it's a pronoun. What is during? What kind of word is during? What part of the speech? Very good, preposition. So every time that you see a preposition, you can say that there is a prepositional phrase. Every time. And the prepositional phrase is composed by two things. Which ones? The preposition. That in
And
this
the
case
object?
is during. The object, but how do you call the object? Syntactically speaking.
No.
A noun.
Noun, a pronoun.
Guys, pay attention to this. Remember the first thing that we see. What do we have here? We have a noun, a pronoun, and an adverb and determiner and a noun, but all of them belong to
Noun phrase.
noun phrases. Very good. Un sustantivo no puede estar desligado de una oración nominal, de una frase nominal. Un sustantivo, un sustantivo. ¿Ok? Siempre debe haber a noun phrase first. And the noun phrase in this case has, what does it have? What kind of word is this?
Demonstrative.
Very good. It is a demonstrative, but it is a determiner. Okay? Remember that the determiners are classified into, let me show you here. The determiners are these ones. It is not a demonstrative. Yes. ¿Por qué no es un demostrativo? Porque tiene un sustantivo al lado. Es muy diferente si yo escribo this is exciting. So this no tiene ningún sustantivo al lado y reemplaza el nombre completo. Se constituye en un pronombre demostrativo. En este caso, el this está en relación con el sustantivo. Eso quiere decir que lo vuelve un determinante. Está determinando cuál lección es. No es cualquier lección, es esta lección. ¿Ok? So, determiner plus noun. Cierra la prepositional phrase. Esta cierra la prepositional phrase y esta cierra la oración. Right? Is it complex for you?
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of. It is a little bit mathematics, you know, because it's like organizing through the mathematics. Yeah? But something exciting about this, and I really enjoy this part of semantics, is that we can do this with organize it in a vertical way. So like an syntactical tree, right? Let me show you an example. I cannot do it right now because it is syntax tree. So it is like this one. Yeah. Let me show you. Okay, already this one. It is like this one. It is exactly the same, in which we are saying that the sentence is compound. In this case, it's different. Acá debería haber un noun phrase y después un noun. Esto está raro. Noun phrase, verbal phrase. The verbal phrase is compounded by a verb and a noun phrase. Siempre que haya un sustantivo, hay una noun phrase. The noun phrase is composed by determiner and a noun. And exactly the same, we can do exactly the same with these two sentences. We can divide it and start analyzing them in this sense, in the same way. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So we have here Let's do this one. Try to do it on your own. We have a few time here, like 15 minutes, but take only 5 minutes to try to organize this. Recommendation. Piensen en la función. ¿Ok? Dentro de la oración. Inside or within the sentence. Function within the sentence. The function within the sentence.
So we always have to start with the sentence, and then we have to do with the other words. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Sentence is the main connector, as in here, because we are talking about sentences. The part of the sentence is a phrase, so it is within the sentence. Les voy a ayudar. Muy fácil. Les voy a comenzar así. Pero dentro de esta va algo. Después, y dentro de esta va algo. Listo. Ready. El resto lo completan ustedes.
So that's noun phrase, past continuous.
Yes, it is past continuous, but what is the category?
We're talking about where, no? In this case.
Yes, but past continuous is the verb
Yeah,
of
so
tense.
that's true.
So what is the category of those? Noun phrase, very good, Jairo. Something else? Something is missing? No, Jairo, pay attention to the last part. It is not a noun phrase yet. Ah, no, yes, you are right. Yes, there is a noun phrase. Sorry, I made a mistake. There is something missing, Jairo. Let's say that you just get till here. You miss the rest.
At 2 p.m. is an adverbial phrase.
What is at? What is at? What category is at?
Determiner?
No.
No, that's a preposition.
That's a preposition. Very good. A preposition.
Preposition of time.
So, remember, yes. Remember, in this case, it's of time. Remember, a preposition always is going to be inserted in a prepositional phrase. Always in a prepositional phrase. And a prepositional phrase always need two things. A preposition and a noun phrase. Always. A preposition and a noun phrase. Ready?
Okay.
Difficult?
It's the first time I see this kind of topic, so we're learning.
Very good. But I like that you learn.
Yeah.
I know that this defies some things. Okay, here. Let's start. So what is the noun phrase of this sentence? What is the noun phrase?
We were.
No.
We.
We. Only we. And the rest is going to be. So in we, what part of a speech is we?
The subject.
No.
Pronoun.
Subject is a grammatical category. Okay? Pronoun. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
a pronoun. Subject is grammatical, okay? So we finish with the noun phrase. Now we go with the verbal phrase. Very good. So we have here. What is the first thing that we have in this verbal phrase?
Auxiliary word.
Good. Auxiliary
To
verb.
be.
And what is okay? And what is the other one?
ING.
A verb. The main verb with ing. Yes, could be with ing. But
It doesn't care that it has the ing.
no, it is the main verb.
Okay.
Remember that we are not analyzing the tenses, but the function of the words into the sentence. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Haven't. Now, what kind of word is lunch?
It's a noun.
So what do we need?
Phrase noun.
A phrasal. What? Noun.
Phrasal noun.
A noun phrase.
Noun phrase.
Yes, and a noun phrase is composed by a noun, that is lunch, and what else?
The preposition.
Preposition?
Oh, no, sorry. No.
Yes, yes. Falta algo.
Yes, it is.
Something
Lunch
is missing.
at.
Prepositional?
Place or time.
Prepositional phrase.
Phrase.
A prepositional phrase.
Remember, toda preposición va inserta en una frase preposicional. Y las frases preposicionales siempre se compondrán de dos cosas: preposiciones y frases nominales. Siempre. A preposition always is going to be composed by a preposition and a noun phrase. And what is the noun phrase here? 2 p.m. But a noun phrase is not a category, so we need a noun. Let's say that 2 p.m. altogether is a noun. This is more or less the analysis of that sentence. Yeah, I know that we need a lot of practice, but we have to be conscious of some important things. We have certain kind of phrases so far. Prepositional phrases, prepositional always going to be, a prepositional phrase always is going to be composed by a preposition and a noun phrase. Always. Right? Prepositional phrases, verbal phrases. The verbal phrases are going to be composed always with a verb and other kind of things. Because we can say that it is like a verb plus, I don't know, noun phrases. Or could be a verb plus noun phrase plus prepositional phrase and so on. So we can combine in the phrasal verb, the most important thing is the verb. And then we can combine phrasal verb, noun phrases or phrasal verb, prepositional phrases. And in a noun phrase, we are only going to have a noun phrase. And in the noun phrase, we can have the other kind of categories of the words. But we cannot have phrases so far. So far, we cannot have other kind of phrases in the noun phrase. Yeah? Okay. So I think that it is enough for today because we have analyzed some things, some aspects of phonetics and some aspects of syntax. So we are going to stop this class here, but I'm going to recommend you try to, as part of an exercise, try to choose 5 sentences or less sentences, I don't know, but try to practice the organization. And at the beginning of the next class, show me what you have done. and I can help you and I can guide you to see if it is correct or if you need something else. Okay? So we can start.
Teacher, where are you going to allow this online session, the recording?
The online session is going to be here. Let me see. Here in
Because I think that I'm gonna watch it like 2 or 3 times more.
Okay, don't worry. In the recording, here the recording. I didn't upload the class number 1 because that class was a mess because of the system, okay? The recording was terrible, the sound was terrible, everything was terrible. So I didn't record. I didn't upload that class. Was not worthy. But the class number 3 is going to be here as well. You can check that many times if you want. Okay. Okay. Questions?
Enough?
No. Okay. Okay. You sound very convincing. Paula says, I don't know. Don't worry. Don't worry. Little by little, we are going to understand these things. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for attending the class.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
No me vayan a volver el video viral, por favor.
But you're gonna see a lot of views.
Okay. So goodbye, guys. See you next class.
Bye.
Goodbye, teacher. Thank you.
Bye, teacher.
Bye-bye.